What's up guys, my name is Andre and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be testing Team Fortress 2 on a 2006 machine, under quotes. The processor is a Pentium D 935 running at 3.2 GHz. We got a Radeon HD4650 1GB AGP, you can see the bridge chip down there, 2 GB of DDR400 RAM, and a Sound Blaster CT4830. The way that I'm going to be recording this is that I'll have the camera out of focus. I'll have a clone display set up, because I'll have a display where I'm actually going to play the game, and you guys are going to be seeing the game from this perspective, where the camera is going to be sitting down here and aimed down at the television. I'm also going to be recording the inline audio of the game, and let's go. Let's see how this game runs. Now, one thing is, the Pentium D, essentially what a Pentium D is that it is two Pentium 4 chips side by side. Remember how Core 2 quads were assembled, that we have two CPU dies inside the same package. The same goes for Pentium Ds. We have two Pentium 4 dies side by side inside the same package. And this Pentium D that I'm using, the 935, uses two Setter mill cores, two 65nm cores. So this Pentium D actually outputs less heat than many Pentium 4s yet. So first we're gonna try bots, because I want to see how the CPU is going to hold the game back. I'm just not sure how you guys can see the video. So we're gonna go on control points. Not Dust Bowl, let's try Gorge, and we're going to try 6 bots because I don't want to get too heavy on the CPU. Remembering, essentially what we have is two Pentium 4s, it's not something like a Pentium dual core or even a Core 2 Duo. However, next month I am actually going to receive two Core 2 Duos. One is the E6300, literally the first Core 2 Duo that was ever released. And the other one is a Core 2 Duo E4300, which is a compatibility enhanced chip that will work even on this AGP motherboard because of the 800 megahertz FSP. Because in case you haven't noticed, almost all of the Core 2 Duo chips, they are either 1066 or 1333 FSP. But the 4000 series of Core 2 Duos, they have their compatibility motherboard-wise enhanced because they're running using an 800 megahertz FSP as opposed to a 1066 one. So we're going to try that. Once I receive those chips, we're going to try using the same bench, same video card, but with a much better CPU, because it's going to be even better than many Pentium dual cores, if you want my opinion. So now we're just waiting for the map to load, and the game just crashed. Out of memory or address space. Texture quality may be too high. So I think that what happens is that the game has reset its settings to the high or very high settings that I was used to use on my main computer. So the app is already launched. What the hell? So the game crashed, but it didn't close, so I'll have to go ahead and close it manually if I find it. No, I don't see it anywhere. So we're going to try to open it up again. Perhaps it closed the process now. Same drill, but now I'll have to go ahead and change the video settings manually, because, as I said, I think that the game has reset the video settings back to very high, as I was used to play on my main computer. So we're going to do that once the game loads up. It's a medium. It's because the texture, when it's set to very high, for some odd reason it doesn't play well with this video card. So no HDR, no motion blur, no anti-aliasing, 8 times anisotropic filtering, multi-core rendering, of course, because we have a Pentium D, reflect world, model detail on medium, texture detail on medium, shader detail on low, color correction, I don't know what that does, if it actually does impact on performance, so I'm going to leave that enabled. Let's click apply, and then we're gonna see as to whether we can actually do this. So, whoops. Training, offline practice, control points, gorge, 6 bots. Let's go. One interesting thing to note is that we only have 2 gigabytes of RAM, and you can see that we're already using 1400 megabytes of RAM. We got 2048, all free because we have an off-board video card, of course, so there's no shared memory for the onboard video. I disabled that manually on the BIOS just to make sure. Man, even though I'm loading this off of a SATA hard drive, you can still see how much time it takes. Oh boy, 1800 megabytes. Oh, in case you're curious of why the GPU usage is stuck at 99%, that's a driver bug. And the sad thing is that the only driver that will work is the latest driver. So I think that's still too loud. Okay, we're gonna red sniper. You can kind of see the FPS that we should expect off of this.
Give him a
First impression, the game is rather smooth. There is some minor stuttering. Okay, now the FPS has really dropped down, and we're using almost all of the RAM that we have.
Stab, stab, stab.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Okay, perhaps the audio is way too high. Yep, it is. So reducing the let's reduce the audio of the game. So I won't clip because I'm recording the inline audio.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. So when the action actually starts, we are really going to see how the CPU is weak, because we're going to have lots of explosions, bullets flying all over the place, particles, and this is really going to get heavy on the CPU side of things. You can see that one core is sitting at 70%, the other one is sitting at 45%. So you can really see that not only is the game going to start to lag a lot. Ah! Fuck off. Sucker. Ah! Nope. Get out. Bad pyro. No! Oh! Ah, that was a good one. So even though we're only playing with 6 bots, you can really see that even with 6 bots, the CPU shows its age, and that's why I'm really curious to try this out with the bottom of the line Core 2 Duo, which is either the 6300 or the 4300. I'm really curious to see how these CPUs are going to perform. The E4300 supposedly is stronger because it has a faster clock speed, even though the FSB speed is lower. I could be trying to record this using Fraps or some other program, but I would like to keep the machine simple, and I would like to keep the performance realistic, you know, because the performance you're going to be seeing on the gameplay, of course, is the performance while you are recording. But in contrast with this, this off-camera setup that I have here, you're going to see the actual performance of the game when I'm playing with no recording software impact upon it. Too bad I don't have a capture card to do an inline video capture. The only way that I can do this is by relying on my iPhone to do the job. Whoa! Ah, this is a lag hell. I can't even hit a single arrow. Yeah, there we go. So I think that it's fair now that we should test this computer on multiplayer on a multiplayer environment. So we're going to go with a light map such as CTF Turbine, because of course everyone plays in Turbine nowadays. Alright. So we're going to be playing on CTF Turbine. Let's see what the performance looks like under multiplayer settings, because someone is probably going to be playing on multiplayer, not single player. Let me just get the volume down even more, because we're already doing an inline capture, and then the microphone that I'm using is going to get some feedback. I don't want that. What is this, Sniper Wars? Look at that lag. I mean, actual server network lag. Performance isn't too terrible, but I'm seeing that the CPU is still heavily loaded. We're getting about 40 FPS in here, and we go outside around 36. That's on medium settings at 1024 by 768. So you should really reconsider before playing using the CPU, because it's not very silky smooth, but it's not horrible. It's actually rather. I was playing previously on another server, also Turbine, and the nominal FPS was like 60 to 70 FPS. I was really impressed with the performance out of this simple Pentium D chip. I'll have to cook these bombs. What on earth? So yeah, sometimes we get 60 to 74 FPS, but most of the time it's on the low 30s to 40s normally. Whoa, this is one laggy medic. Shit. There you have it. This is how a Pentium D and a 4650 perform on Team Fortress 2. I could go along and do an entire series of videos and different games of how this machine performs, because this is essentially a high-end 2006, 2005 machine. Because the video card, although it was released in 2008, the performance is about 2005 to 2006. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like in this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Ha!